Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here in front of you with a new topic from English Grammar, Chapter 6 Verb. It is an important topic and we have to study or we have to understand a lot about verb. So without using a verb, we cannot make a proper sentence. So verb is an important part in a sentence. So what is a verb? A word used to describe an action, state or occurrence. So the definition is very clear here. A word used to describe an action. The word which describes an action or the word which tells a state of being or it tells an occurrence, we can tell are verbs. For example, eat, play, is, are, have, do, etc. There are so many verbs are there that we will be studying in this video. Mainly we are going to focus 5 types of verbs in this video. The first one is state verbs and action verbs. The second one is main verbs and auxiliary verbs, sometimes called helping verbs. And the third one is modal verbs. And the fourth one is transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. And the fifth one is regular verbs and irregular verbs. These 5 types of verbs we are just going to look in this video. Let us come to the first types of verbs, that is action verbs. Action verbs show the physical activities. The physical activities which the subject does. So that physical activities are called action verbs. So many physical activities we are doing daily. So all the physical activities are called action verbs. Let us look some examples. John plays cricket. Here John is the person doing the action and his action is plays. So plays is the verb in the sentence and playing is the physical activity. So it shows the physical activity, so it can be called as an action verbs. I run to the market. I is the subject doing the action and action is run. So run is the verb in the sentence and it shows the physical activities. That's why run can be called as an action verb. Jobish walked to the class. Jobish is the person doing the action here and his action is walked. So walked is a physical activity and it is the verb in the sentence and we can call it as an action verbs. So the physical activities which the verb shows can be called as an action verbs. Then what is state verbs? State verbs show the situation. State verbs do not show any action. It just shows the situation. For example, I have a car. Here have is the verb used here. Have it doesn't show any action because it is state verbs. State verbs just give the situation. Second one, Raju likes chocolates. Likes is the verb used here in the sentence and it doesn't show any action or any physical activities. It doesn't show any physical activity. So we cannot tell this is an action verbs. So it is state verbs. It just show the situation. But we have to remember one important thing when we are using the state verbs. We don't use ing form with state verbs. We should not use ing form with state verbs. Okay, if we are using ing form with state verbs, that is a wrong usage. For example, Raju likes chocolates, we have already told, and if I am telling the sentence in this way, Raju is liking chocolates. Actually likes is the state verb, so we cannot use ing form with the state verb. So Raju is liking chocolates is a wrong usage. So we cannot use ing form with the state verbs. We can use ing form with action verbs. But sometimes some verbs can be used as state verbs and action verbs. Some of the verbs we have just already told that we cannot use ing form with the state verb, but sometimes some of the verbs can be used as both state and action verbs. For example, I am having dinner. So have is the state verb we have already discussed here, but we can make have by using ing form just like this. I am having dinner. Here the meaning is different I'm having dinner means I'm just taking at the dinner at the moment. I'm just eating. Okay, that is the meaning here. Sita is thinking about him. Think. It is not the physical activity and it can be called as a state verb, but at the same time we can use this verb as an action verb because it gives different meaning. Reflect. And Vivek was looking her. Vivek was looking her. Look is the state verbs, and here we can use the verb as an action verb because looking here it means searching. Vivek was looking her means Vivek was searching her. So in this way, sometimes state verbs can be used as an action verbs also, but most of the time the state verbs will be only the state verbs and we cannot use ing form with that. Let us come to the second one, main verbs. Words that show the action of a subject, they can stand alone. So the action of the subjects are called main verbs. So main verbs can stand alone in the sentence. It doesn't require any support from any other verb in the sentence. So that is the speciality of the main verb, and it shows the action of subject. Subject means a person who is doing the action is called subject, and what is the action is called verb, and that action is called main verb. For example, they wrote a letter. Here wrote is the verb. So it is the action of the subject. They is a subject here, and wrote is the action verbs here, and it can stand alone. So wrote is the main verb in the sentence. They wrote a letter. He eats apples. He eats is the action verb here. So the subject he does the action eats. So eats is the action verb of the subject. So eats can be called as main verb in the sentence, and it can stand alone. I did my work. Did is the main verb because it shows the action and I is a subject here. So did is the main verb in the sentence. So words that show the action of subject are called main verbs, and they can stand alone in the sentence like this. Then what are auxiliary verbs? Auxiliary verbs we can call as helping verbs also. They give more meaning to the main verb. They can't stand alone. So auxiliary verb or helping verb which we are telling, we are using these verbs in the sentence to give support to the main verb, to give more meaning to the main verb, and they cannot stand alone because they need always a main verb in the sentence to stand. Mainly three forms of auxiliary verb or helping verb we are using, that is be form of verb, do form, and have. These are the three main forms of auxiliary verbs. For example, they are writing a letter. Here writing is the main verb and are is underlined there. Are is the helping verb here because are is the helping verb, help the main verb to complete the sentence. So they are writing a letter. So the role of the helping verb is to help the main verb in the sentence. So are is the helping verb, help the main verb writing. I have given my project. I have. Have is the helping verb here, and it helps the main verb given. And this is have form of verb. And the first one are is the be form of verb. Next one, I am doing my work. I am. Am is the helping verb here. It helps the main verb doing. Mary is gossiping about others. So is the helping verb here, and gossiping, this is the main verb in the sentence, and is helping the main verb. So Mary is gossiping about others. We can make questions as well as negatives. By using these auxiliary verbs or helping verbs, we can make questions as well as negative sentence. For example, is she watching a movie? This is a question type of sentence. So the auxiliary verb is used to make the sentence or question type of sentence here. Have you taken lottery? So have is the word used here as a helping verb to form a question form of sentence. I don't play football. Don't. It is a negative sentence and it helps the main verb play. and we can make the negative sentence by using an helping verbs or auxiliary verb. Sneha wasn't going to play. Wasn't, was not. So this is also a helping verb. It can be used like this as a negative sentence as well as the question sentence. So auxiliary verbs and helping verbs can be used for questions as well as for negatives, and the main role of auxiliary verbs or helping verb to help the main verbs. When we tell about main verbs, we have to just note down some of the linking verbs also. What are linking verbs? These verbs do not show any action. These verbs link the subject with information about the subject. So sometimes this is be form of verb we have just told, and have form of verb we just told that it can be stand alone in the sentence. It doesn't require any support from any other word, but we have to remember that type of verbs are called linking verbs. For example, Joe is a doctor. So here is the verb used here and it stands alone there. So Joe is a doctor. So the definition is very clear here. These verbs do not show any action, and it is not showing any action here. These verbs link the subject with the information about the subject. So subject is Joe. Joe is a subject here and it gives the information about who is Joe or what is Joe. So Joe is a doctor. So is the verb here. So Joe is what? Joe is a doctor. So a doctor and Joe, this both word is connected by the verb is. So is the linking verb here. Next one, you are my friend. The subject you and the information about the subject my friend, both are connected by the verb are. So are is the linking verb here. Next word, I am a student. Am is the linking verb here because I is the subject and it connects the other words in the sentence a student. So am is the linking verb here. I am a student. Let us come to the third one, modal verbs. So modal verbs show mood. Mood in the sense the attitude of the speaker. So modal verbs can be used in the sentences, and mainly it gives a special meaning in the sentence. Modal verbs can give a special meaning in the sentence because it show the it just show the attitude of the speaker. Mainly these modal verbs we are very familiar with, may, might, can, could, will, would, shall, should, must. Mainly these modal verbs we are very familiar with. Let us see some examples. It may rain today. Here may is the modal verb used here, and it just give the meaning, just prediction. It is not giving an 100% surety. It just give the prediction. Just 60% or 70% can be happen. It may rain today. You shouldn't smoke here. Shouldn't, this is another type of modal verbs, and it short it used here as a negative, and it just tell the command, you shouldn't smoke here. We can't get to the airport in 5 minutes. Here can't, it is also negative and another type of modal verbs. It gives just the meaning that impossible. We can't get to the airport in 5 minutes. They must read this letter. Must is another one modal verb. Here it shows the necessity. So this type of modal verbs we can use in the sentences, and it just shows the attitude of the speaker. It can be changed and it give a special meaning to the sentences. And sometimes we can just tell it is just one another kind of auxiliary verbs, these modal verbs. Let us come to the fourth one, transitive verbs. So what are transitive verbs? The verbs need an object to complete the sentence. To make a beautiful sentences or to make a meaningful sentence, we need an object. So verbs need an object. So the verbs which need an object to complete its sentence is called transitive verb. Some of the words require an object to complete the sentence. that type of verbs are called transitive verbs. For example, Raju killed a snake. Here Raju is the person doing the action, and object means a person or thing which received the action. So here Raju killed a snake. Here action is killed, so killed is the verb here. So we cannot stop Raju killed. By that one we cannot stop because there will be always one question, Raju killed what? So Raju killed a snake. So a snake is a snake is receiving the action here. Raju killed a snake. So the verb killed here used as a transitive verb because it required an object. So a snake is the object here. So killed is a transitive verb. Arjun threw the ball. We cannot stop the verb alone there. Arjun threw. By that one we cannot stop the sentence there because Arjun threw what? Arjun threw the ball. So threw is the transitive verb because it required always an object. Arjun threw the ball. The ball is the object here. Sumit took the book. Sumit is a person doing the action and his action is took or taking. So what? The book. So the book is the object here. So took is the transitive verb. So these transitive verbs always required an object. So when a verb which required an object to complete its sense, that type of verbs are called transitive verbs. Then what are intransitive verbs? The verbs do not need objects to complete the sense. Some of the verbs do not require objects to complete its sense are called intransitive verbs. For example, I ran fast. The meaning is completed there. Here the verb is the verb is ran. I is the subject here. I ran fast. Fast is not the object here, it's just an adverb. It just tells how he ran. I ran fast. So the meaning is completed here without an object. So the verb doesn't require an object to complete its sense. She laughed loudly. Laughed is the verb here and she is the subject here. And loudly is not the object, it's just an adverb. And it just shows how she laughed. The boy is crying. Crying is the verb here and the sentence can be stopped by that. So these type of verbs which do not require an object to complete the sentence are called intransitive verbs. Let us come to the fifth one, regular verbs. The verbs that end in D, ed or ied to indicate an action in the past are called regular verbs. So when we make V1 or V2 form, so present form and the past form, so from the base form, from the present form, if we want to make the verb into past, we will be adding D or ed or ied. Some of the verbs we can make into past from the present by adding D or ed or ied. If we can make those verbs by adding these letters, those verbs are called regular verbs. For example, walk. By adding ed, we can make the past form, walked. Dance. By adding a single d, we can make the past form, danced. Study. By dropping out y and adding ied, we can make the past form. Like that, if we can make the past form from the base by adding d, ed or ied, those types of verbs are called regular verbs. Then what are irregular verbs? The verbs that do not end in d, ed or ied to indicate an action in the past. Just opposite of that. Just opposite of regular verbs. Some of the verbs we cannot make into past by adding d, ed or ied. To make into past, we have to frame new words there. So those are type of words which we cannot make past by adding d, ed or ied. Those types of verbs are called irregular verbs. For example, sleep. To make the past form, we cannot add ed there because it is another form is there, slept. Sleep, slept. Two different words are there. Go, went. Eat, ate. Sit, sat. Here all the words to make in the past, here it is used here different words. So we did not make the words by adding d or ed or ied to form the verbs in the past. So if we cannot make the verbs by adding d or ed or ied to in the past, so these type of verbs are called irregular verbs. So these are the things we just discussed here about the verbs and the types of verbs. Now the practice work at home. Underline the verbs in the given sentences and find out their types. So many sentences are given there. So what we have to do means just underline the verbs there. Verbs are used in the sentence, just underline the verbs there and just find out what type of verbs they are. Just those underlined words, just find out their types. We have to note down one thing there. The same verbs can be categorized into many types, as we have just discussed in the video. The same verbs can be categorized into many types, that we have to just look at the example. First one, monkeys are eating bananas. Second one, I love mangoes. Third one, Suresh can sing well. Fourth one, she slept in the classroom. Fifth one, they stood at the bus stop. Sixth one, we are singers. Seventh one, you had a meeting. Eighth one, don't you play tennis? Ninth one, shall we watch the movie? And the 10th one, Joe came early. Total 10 sentences are there. Just underline the verbs in the sentences and just find out their types. I hope you understood this video. Thank you.